I mean, $50 is $50, man.
Okay,
50
yeah.
bucks is a good amount of cigars. So,
Yeah, it's like a good amount of cigars or one trip to McDonald's anymore.
so for the audience, we're talking about Matt's wonderful wooden background that is swaying in the wind in his garage.
You can cut like I just started recording because I thought it might be really good like short footage or something.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I was like debating whether or not to actually smoke a cigar because I was in and out today and I don't know if it was like the rain or what, but just feeling a little under the weather.
Mm.
But then I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe it's good for me.
Then you're like, the cigar makes it all feel better.
Yeah. Have you had one of these?
I have not. I've heard about them. I heard they were
It's
good.
like not focusing.
Why don't you, for the audience, tell them what cigar that is?
Well, are we? I mean, we're actually going to get into it though, right?
I mean, it's we already started. You hit record, so this is it.
All
There's
right.
no editing. We don't do that
We
stuff. It's
we don't
just
do none of that.
we don't do that. We're,
Yeah.
we're not that
So
pro yet.
no, I mean, okay. So I wanted to start today though with talking about what we're going to talk about. So obviously we're going to do our usual, right? What we're smoking, what we're drinking, a little bit of
Uh,
news, which I'm actually excited for that news, by the way. Like
uh,
because yeah, we'll talk about it. And then we want to talk about podcasting and YouTubing, and
yep.
more so who our favorites are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That sounds
so
about it.
yeah, but you're inside, so you're not going to be lighting up, eh?
Yeah. For once, the tides have turned.
Can we at least call Mandy and ask her if you're allowed to smoke inside?
No. I already know the answer to that. So let's ask my asthmatic wife if it's okay to smoke in the house. No, that's not happening.
Yeah, and then drinking. I'm actually so I had a cocktail earlier. I think I sent it to all of us out in the we have a little group message, and it was Precious actually makes an amazing old fashioned. So I
Mhm.
got the stuff out, but she was making the old fashioned. But so I'm actually drinking tea.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean like we actually have a really big assortment of teas. We probably have over like 20 different teas, like legit
Like,
herbal
is
stuff.
that like is that like sweet tea or just like that's herbal tea that you're drinking?
This is herbal tea. I mean, normally like
Mm.
my go to drink is always sweet tea. Like
Yeah.
that's all. Like I drink that from sun up to sundown. But at
Mhm.
night, a lot of times, even like I actually like it with cigars, and a friend of mine does too. One of my buddies up here.
Yeah,
He
I like sweet tea
pairs it.
too with cigars. I think
Yeah,
it goes right in there with like coffee and soda for me.
there's one that I really like. Um, when I'm having a cigar that has those kind of like dry fruit kind of notes. Um,
Mm.
it's called Florida Sunshine Tea, and it has like
Mm.
orange peel, rose, and I don't know, there's like some different citrus things in there. And Precious laughed at me because the first time I had it, I'm like, this legit tastes like Florida. Like like if you closed your eyes, you would say Florida.
Mm.
But anyway, so I'm smoking the Magic Toast, Alec Bradley, kind of trying to show it or whatever, you know. Yeah, there we go.
I've
This is
heard I've heard good things about it. So,
it's
and
definitely my
has Matt
favorite.
Yeah, as Matt said, I'm not smoking today. We actually have a tropical storm slash hurricane in the midst. I'm getting some of the wind bands right now, so I'd just be blowing smoke in my face. So, but I am actually drinking tonight. We've got Schopenhofer, the pomegranate version,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
you like that
have
one?
the. I don't know. I'll let you know. I also have the original Schopenhofer right over here.
Crap, let me see if I
So
have any of that. Hold on, I'll be right back. I mean, it's in the garage. Okay, no, I guess I drank it all.
mm.
I thought I had some. I could have twinned up with you. Yeah, this is like the times I've had these, they've been very consistent. Um,
hmm
at like your first third is super light. I mean, like extremely light, which is a when you're lighting up for the first time in the day without drinking anything, it's actually a pretty good cigar. Um, because it just doesn't hit you. It doesn't, sucker punch you.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually like that with my whiskeys too, like my bourbons and
Mm.
ryes and stuff. There are times where like usually I like something that's right around like 90 to 105. Like that 100 is really where the proof that I like.
hmm
Um, but there are certain ones that'll just like punch you right in the chest. And if it's like the first drink of the day, first sip of the day, there's not always a time that I want to be just punched in the chest. And I'll go for something that's a little lower proof and something that doesn't hit as hard, you know. But this is
Yeah.
good.
You're definitely more of a drinker than I am nowadays. I don't know. I don't really drink too much, and like if I have beer, if I go buy beer, it's sitting in my fridge for weeks and weeks at a time. That
Yeah, I mean,
Schopenhauer's been there
since you bought it
since I yeah.
and took it, yeah, like you took a picture of it and sent it to us, I think.
hmm that was at least 2 months ago.
Yeah, see, I've had this like annoying cough all day, so this probably isn't the best idea.
Yeah, just don't inhale it, so you're fine.
Yeah, probably.
So have you? What did you pick up this week? Is there any new cigars or new whiskeys that you've picked up this week? For me
Actually,
personally, I haven't gone out, so I actually got into
other than
a little
playing
bit of
bumper cars.
yeah, got into a little bit of a fender bender on last Thursday, my last day off, and so I didn't really have time to go out and do anything or shop for new cigars or drinks or anything like that. So
Yeah, I was really actually trying not to buy some stuff, but it didn't really work out. Um, so over here, it's actually Orlando seems to be pretty hard to get certain things. So like, there's a new Kentucky owl that's out called the Takumi or Takumi. But I actually think it's supposed to be pronounced is like I mean the Japanese stuff. Is it Takumi? T
yeah, I
A
think
K
so.
U M I.
I think so.
Um, so I was actually at um, one of these like large stores, and while I was there, I see the guy and he's like putting stuff away and he's taking some things to the back because they do like raffle type situation to where you buy enough things in the store and then you kind of get put into a lottery and hopefully you get the email or the call that it's your turn kind of like to pick out that next really good whiskey like that Weller or you know kind of like whatever you're really looking to get. So again, I'm standing there, I'm in line, and I look back and I see him bring out this Kentucky Owl box, and it was the bottles for Kentucky Owl all look the same. Um, they all look exactly the same. What changes though is the label, and I've already gotten a couple of the the special edition ones, and so again, I'm standing. I look back and I see the box. I open the box when no one's there, and I pull it out. So one of the guys that's always at the store, like he's coming down the aisle, looks at me and he's like, "Man, we were just about to put that in the back." He's like, "That's he's like, if you can get away with it, good luck to you. More power to you, brother." And I'm like, "Thanks." So I go back to like the register and I picked the lady that's checked us out before, who doesn't know liquors. Like, it's really interesting. She works in a liquor store and has no clue, like none. She doesn't know the difference between a bourbon and a rum. I mean, like but she's the nicest lady. And so I check out there. I get this bourbon. We get in our car and we leave, and I am like ecstatic. And but it's the Kentucky Owl Takumi or Takumi, and the bourbon is blended with I think it's 4 different bourbons, and it's the Kentucky Owl 4, 5, 6, and 13. 4, 5, 6, and 13. Yes, 4, 5, 6, and 13. I personally am very curious of how much 13 is in it because I did sample it, and usually you can taste age. Like, that's like, you can taste when something is actually aged, and I don't taste age on that. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's actually really good. But the guy that blended it is a guy that does Japanese whiskey. Like, he's an up and coming like Japanese whiskey artist. And Japanese whiskey actually has won a lot of awards and became very popular, which made it very expensive here in the US. But I thought that was really cool that a guy from Japan that typically blends Japanese whiskey got his take on American bourbon and blended the bourbon to pseudo match the taste notes from Japan, because all whiskey in Japan is blended.
Right.
So, but pretty cool. Good like little pickup for me at least.
Yeah, I'm surprised if you don't send a bottle of whiskey that you picked up at least once during the week. Like, if there's a week that you haven't picked up a new bottle or someone's given you a bottle, I'm actually
Yeah.
very surprised. So,
Yeah, I definitely love my whiskeys.
yeah. There's no real much as far as cigar news or new cigar announcements. There have been some, but we haven't really, with the storms and my accent, really haven't kept up with the releases. But the one thing that we are both kind of excited about, um, which is a bit of cigar news, is that Cigars International, one of our favorite places to go, is opening up a new location in Jacksonville, Florida, and it should be open by late 2023. That'll be at 4906 Town Center Parkway in Jacksonville, Florida. And it probably will give us a reason finally go up to Jacksonville and visit one of our best buddies, Carrie.
Yeah.
Me, yeah. Me and Carrie used to be roommates for a very long time. Um, definitely one of my best friends and one of Matt's best friends, and we never go visit him. So who knows if a Cigars International has to be built in order for us to take a road trip and see our good buddy over in Jacksonville, Florida, then why the hell not?
I'm down. That's what earlier I mentioned I'm excited, and that's why. Um,
Yeah.
because there isn't a lot to do in Jacksonville. There's nothing to do in Jacksonville. That is
There's
the
a
armpit
there's
of
a
Florida.
there's a Jollibee's and now there's a Cigars International. So
Oh my gosh, talking about Jollibee. Total, like, of course I'm going off subject. Um, so the Jollibee in Orlando on the website was supposed to open, right? And like Precious was looking it up, and I had seen on like Facebook or something that didn't open, and a friend of mine who is I do a lot of business with, she was telling me like that she had driven by it early in the day and it didn't open, and as we're looking it up, people were actually giving 1-star reviews to the business because they didn't open up. Now there was announcements everywhere that said they didn't open up, but these like morons decided to give this business not even open a 1-star review, and I'm just like this is the world that we live in. People are
telling
giving
you,
a business one
Jollibee
star.
fanatics. Where is it exactly in Orlando?
Beats me. I have no
Oh,
idea.
I thought you said you drove by it.
No, my friend drove by it. She's a
Oh, okay, okay,
marketer,
okay.
so she has all of Orange County as a territory.
Hmm.
So she was driving by it earlier that day.
So for our listeners out there that don't know what Jollibee is, I'll explain it
Just
to
turn
you.
it off now if you don't know what Jollibee is. Just get out of here. Don't watch this. Leave.
So, not sponsored, but Jollibee is a Filipino fast food chain. It stars a cartoon bee and has a lot of different fast foodized Filipino food like pancit and Filipino spaghetti and hamburger steak, and has like burgers that are tailored to Filipino tastes. And but they're mainly known for their fried chicken. Probably some people say some of the best fried chicken that you ever had. They only serve dark meat, so you're only ever going to get a leg or a thigh there.
So good.
But yeah, some people love it. Some people are they're like eh. So
So I actually like it better, not fresh. Like we'll bring it
mm.
home and then let it sit in the fridge for like a day after, of course, eating it fresh. Put that thing back in the air fryer, and it is amazing. Like that second time around, it's so good. It's just
I'm a
God,
I'm
it's so
a
good.
I'm a cold chicken eater, so
Yeah,
that I do that all the time. So
yeah, yeah. I like cold chicken wings, cold pizza. I'm all about that.
we're not in college, but we still eat like college kids. So
Oh yeah, like
yeah,
twice this week. Are so, I've been home this week for the most part, and my lunches this week have been ramen noodles. And I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the spaghetti that comes in a box, it's made by Kraft, and everything that you need
sounds
comes in this box.
that sounds
It's
horrible.
No, it's the best thing ever. Like it is the best thing ever. I used to eat it as a kid all the time. Oh, and then I made a grilled cheese one day. That was pretty good too.
I've actually been thinking about going on a diet. Like I've been thinking about that for like years. There's a there's this diet that's called the carnivore diet, and like you just eat meat.
I'm
So
down for
I don't
that.
know. I got a couple of books I'm gonna read and see if it's actually something that'll work for me. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think I've told you, but this has been such, in my opinion, a taboo subject for men, which I don't care, whatever. Uh Testosterone treatments. They call it, testosterone therapy. But I started on that and I've lost like probably 8 pounds with really not changing a whole lot. I'm more
Mm,
active because I have energy,
mm.
but it has changed me like quite a bit. Like I'm actually happier because I'm sometimes, not always the happiest person in the world, but
What you? No, I'm just kidding.
I know you would think, I don't know, like I have more energy than I've ever had, which is really cool for having the kid because she's always going with the cheerleading
Mm.
thing and like running, and she's so athletic. And then and we're always at like theme parks and things, but I would have to sit at a theme park constantly, and like I would sweat profusely. I'm on like week 9 of this testosterone therapy,
Mhm.
and it's like it really is like night and day. Like I recommend it to everyone. I
Is
think
it
that
is it
our
covered by your is it covered by your insurance, or is something you have to pay out of pocket?
No, I'm paying out of pocket for it. I'm getting a little bit of a deal though. So a very good friend of mine, his wife runs a clinic that's like physical therapy for runners and triathletes. I don't know if you've met him or not. He's a triathlete himself. So is his wife, and
Uh,
like legit triathletes. Like they actually like win Ironmans. They're sponsored and everything. But anyway, he's like, hey, if you're ever interested, go get tested and find out. Because one day I was like griping to him about like being exhausted all the time. I went and come to find out, like I was like 800 points below where I was supposed to be. So I was sitting
Hmm.
like right around like 120. Um, Today, the last time I tested, I was like 480, which is still not like peak. It's like kind of that middle area, but
Right.
I feel so good. Like I feel ridiculously good, and I have no side effects. There are side effects to it. One of them is that like you may or may not be able to have children. It lowers counts and things like that. But I have had zero side effects at all. None. Nothing. No pimples. No like I don't know, steroid rage. None of that stuff. Like nothing. Haven't felt this good
I mean,
in
it's
forever.
testosterone. It's not steroids, so I
Right.
wouldn't assume that you'd get any of the side effects.
They just say sometimes with the increased amount of testosterone that you get a little bit more agitated.
Mm,
But I haven't. I feel
that's
really
good.
good. Yeah. But anyway, so back to Cigar International Jacksonville. Excited for that to open. Definitely excited to be able to go and have a place to hang out up there because we could do it in a day.
Yeah.
You could drive here and then I'll drive us up there and then we could hang out for the day and then come home.
I can drop my wife off at your house. She can hang out with
Yeah.
your wife, and we can leave.
Yep. Or I mean, you guys can always stay. You know that
Yeah, yeah,
we have lots of rooms that don't ever get used.
yeah. All right. So our main subject of our podcast today, we usually have a main subject of the podcast where we talk about, something cigar related, and then we have a random things section where we just talk about random stuff. So like, last week it was cigar cutters, and then our random thing to talk about was Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. This week's a little bit different because it's all going to encompass both segments. Um, we're going to talk about our favorite content creators that are both cigar, whiskey, and alcohol related at the front end of this. And then at the tail end of this, we're going to talk about our favorite content creators that have nothing to do with cigars, whiskey, or cocktails or anything. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and go through a couple of yours
Yeah.
off the top here, and then we'll bounce back and forth.
Well, I know this one though is like both of ours, and that's Cigar Daily. Tim,
Yep.
I think is amazing. I think he's genuine, and his picks are really good, and his content is amazing. Like he's
Yep.
great.
So that's
So you watch him, right?
Cigars Daily. That's Tim Swanson over at Cigars Daily. He has a YouTube channel. Uh, you know, like Matt said, he does amazing cigar review content, and he's pretty spot on. He's one of those people that can really uh, taste those flavor notes that some people tend not to. You know, if you ever are starting out, smoking cigars, and you hear a lot of people like say, "Oh, I taste this and taste that," or whatever, and like let's say you're smoking that cigar and you don't taste that, your taste buds might not be attuned to it, but it's always good to watch like a review video because you kind of have a baseline for what some people, um, I think, taste in a cigar, and then from there you can, come up with your own conclusion. But yeah, I love Cigars Daily. I've shopped on their online store and bought some things from them. They have amazing deals. So I can't say enough about Cigars Daily.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I like sometimes how he just like randomly will do some kind of vlogging type stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think there's something to be said when these and it seems like that's actually the majority of the people that I watch. when they do something that's kind of personal. Like I like to kind of know about them. It's cool to see and to hear and watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, Another one I like, and I think, well, I we've kind of talked about him actually before, which is Jeremy Sires.
Yep.
Um, his stuff is awesome, like just all
Hmm.
around. His cigar reviews are great. Um, I don't always agree with his whiskey stuff, but for the most part, he's really spot on.
Yeah.
Um, he builds a lot of relationships with YouTubers, which I thought is really cool. Um, his cinematography skills are awesome. His video editing is awesome, and he basically is self-taught. If you watch his really old stuff, it's all vlog style, and that's actually some of my favorite things that he has
Yeah.
going. But I think he was like one of the first videos that I watched on YouTube that was cigar related, and it was of his at that time new cigar room, and I thought that was like the most amazing thing. Actually, I think
Yeah.
you're the one that sent it to me.
Yep. Yep. I think I discovered Jeremy Sires before you, but
Yep.
and I think I sent you the his cigar
Yep.
room. So Jeremy Sires is based out of, I think, St. Augustine, and he has a house, and in his house he has a room that he converted into a cigar room with the filtration, and he has all his whiskeys, and he has a lounge area, so the whole nine. Um, he does like a lot of exclusive stuff, like merch wise. Both you and I have both picked up the cigar Bible, and I think you picked up the whiskey
Yeah.
Bible, which is like a very thick leather bound journal where you can record your cigars or your whiskey. It's really good quality. Um, so yeah, I mean, I and he hasn't been doing too much like cigar content recently. It's
Yeah.
been like just random stuff, and most of it's really cool. Like he did a 3-part series where he renovated his garage, and it made me want to like renovate my garage, and I just moved into this house, so um, definitely worth a watch for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. He's really good. Um, and I like when he does product reviews, even though I mean the products aren't always for me. Um, but just the way that he shoots them and edits them is amazing. Like I love the way he pieces that together. So I mean he's that like I can watch his channel for hours.
Yeah,
And surprisingly, actually, Precious likes it.
she likes the beard.
I think so.
He has a
Tickler,
massive beard. Yeah.
tickler. Um, we so Precious and I have shot a couple things just to like try it out. I don't know if I'll ever actually post them. I'm not sure. Um, but because she saw where him and his wife did like some different tastings and drink mixes and things like that. So we've actually done a few down in the kitchen of where she tastes whiskey. It's actually it's hilarious. So I probably should post it if she'll let me. Um, but her watching that, kind of like brought her into this kind of YouTube videoing, and because I like videoing, like I take pictures and video all the time, even though I don't post a lot of it. It's just
Yeah.
I love doing it.
I was talking to my mom a couple of days ago, and she wanted to get a. She was asking me about a GoPro,
Yeah.
and like they're going to travel in March, and she asked my opinion about a GoPro. I was like, GoPros are great, they're easy to use. Just got to be wary of the battery life, but
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
I still want that Insta360 Go to. That's the one that I want. So
Yeah, that's a good one too. The tech with that, I think, kind of, if I don't know, I go back and forth. Like sometimes I want to go buy it, but then I really love my GoPro. But the tech
yeah.
with that is awesome, where it can like make the handle disappear.
Hmm.
Like you have like your whatever handle thing, but
Your
it wouldn't
gimbal.
show this
Yeah.
in the shot. Yeah, yeah, that tech is really cool.
So let me go
Um,
through a couple of mine.
okay.
And I don't think that you know about these three that I'm going to talk about. So the first one is a YouTuber. His YouTube channel is called Pick Jimmy Cigar Review. Jimmy is spelled Jimi, and the YouTuber's name is DJ. And he also does cigar reviews. He has I think a setup in his basement, like his, he's like straight on the camera, kind of like we are here.
Mhm.
He's got a whole bunch of stuff in the background, and he reviews cigars. And uh, he has a very cool like YouTube like the way that he presents himself is very cool, and I like his cigar reviews. Like I've picked up a couple of the cigars that he's reviewed and smoked, and I agree with him. And he has it's always good to like have a couple of cigar reviewers, just so not like you said, not everyone's gonna have the same palate. So um, and these next two people are surprisingly actually on TikTok. Um, the first one is the TikTok account is called thecigaradvisors, and
Mhm.
that is Jason. And the other one is Mr. Trotter 21, uh, by the name of Kevin Daly. So they both have TikTok accounts. Um, Jason at the Stogie Life does a lot of his favorite cigar is your favorite cigar, the Opus X,
Yeah.
and both of their accounts do a lot of like cigar tips, things to do, things not to do, those type of like um, initial hey, don't do this when you go into a lounge, or these are the
Mhm.
type of cutters that we're using, or so they're very informative as
Mhm.
far as like things that new cigar smokers need to know. So it's always nice watching their content there, because TikTok, you're not watching like a long form video like YouTube. It's usually at the most 3 minutes, and so they're able to like drive their content to a certain point. That way, new users and new cigar smokers get that information right away. So
So does TikTok do like some of these other platforms and not exactly allow that to spread or go viral?
it's the same. I think same situation with any, like, you can't promote a site that sells cigars. So
Yeah.
like they can't like throw a link out there or tell you where to get things.
Mm.
Um, I'm sure that there's not like any monetization on
Okay.
on their videos. So, but I mean, I don't know 100% because I don't really use TikTok
We're
in
not
that
there
way.
yet.
So yeah, we're we use TikTok to advertise our podcast. So
Yep.
um, that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, let's hit that little topic really quick as just a commercial break. Um, yeah, I do actually want to thank everyone for subscribing. We made it to
Yep.
what, 40 something, right?
Yeah, 40 something subscribers, 11.7 thousand views. Like absolutely crazy after just two
Yeah.
episodes. We thank everybody out there in the universe that is watching our videos and likes our content and our discussions here. Um, we were totally blown away and surprised. I hope that y'all stick around. Pass us around to some of your friends. Hopefully, they'll like to listen to two best friends rant about random stuff.
Yeah. So thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. I didn't expect that at all. Like I actually thought we'd be doing this for a while and having zero views or like, you know, two, you and I. Like I really did expect that. But it's pretty cool. I have
Yeah.
a buddy that's, a YouTuber. He's got his YouTube channel, and I was telling him about it. And he's like, man, he's like, sometimes you just kind of like get those hits, get those followers, and when you do, just make sure you say thank you. So I'm following his advice because it's what he does full time.
Yeah, and a special shout out to all the, like, surprisingly enough, not just the amount of subscribers that initially subscribed and all the views that we got, um, but from where you guys are watching from, like
Yeah,
all over the world. Like, we live in the United States here in Florida. Not in a million years did we ever think that we would reach some of the countries that are watching our content. So
yeah, it's
that in
very cool.
itself is mind blowing. So again, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, for giving us your time to listen to two guys talk about cigars and random things in our day. We really appreciate it.
I think I fulfill the random.
Yeah.
All right, back on track. Uh, I guess
You
I'll
want me to go
go.
through? You want me to go through my last cigar related one, then we'll go into
Yeah,
the.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So my last cigar related content creator is the OG cigar reviewer, Bryan Glynn over at Cigar Obsession. Now, Cigar Obsession had a very long, prosperous YouTube life, and because of YouTube's policies on certain things and uh, cracking down on certain content. Unfortunately, Cigar Obsession no longer exists on YouTube. Um, but he has his own website that he has been running since the start of things. And Bryan Glenn at Cigar Obsession is another person that does cigar reviews and reviews on, like, Cigar of the Month clubs, and he reviews humidors and stuff like that. So definitely support Bryan Glenn over at cigarobsession.com. Uh, One of the OGs in the cigar game for sure.
Yeah, and I think Tim also does his own Cigar Daily. Doesn't he have his own site where
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah.
uploads and
Yes, Cigars Daily has their own website as well. They haven't been hit as hard as Cigar Obsession with the demonetization type situation and getting videos removed. But Cigars Daily Plus is his website. So I highly suggest, if you are getting into cigars, to follow both their social platforms and visit their websites for great reviews.
yeah, and I don't want to leave out the last one, which is Pravada. They have
Hmm.
like an alternative, like I think it's like Facebook. That's what it
Yeah,
reminds me.
I think it's called Cigar Public. Is
Um,
their site, Cigar
yeah,
Public, and I think they have a social aspect. It's kind of like a Facebook situation where
mhm.
cigar smokers can sign up and get together, show your pictures, stuff like that. So
Yeah. When it first came out, I logged into it and I did a little bit, and then I don't know, I just kind of like lost track of it or something. If it was an app, I'd probably use it.
yeah,
Um, but getting an app like that probably is going to be hard. I mean, I had a hard time getting ours like published. It was really difficult. I mean, finding someone to do it was easy because I didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to do that kind of stuff. But getting that back end work done was pretty easy. But actually having like the app put on the store was really hard. Like I went round and round and round with Apple and with Android, and it was really difficult. Like I was really surprised at how much time I had to spend like doing that. It sucked. So, but yeah. So back to content that we're supposed to talk about.
hmm
Next for me is also guys that both me and my wife watch, which is the Bourbon Junkies. they even have meetups, and we're actually like seriously thinking about going to one. They're super entertaining. They're just two legit guys, actually, like kind of like us. Um, that they had a passion and they just started kind of their channel about it, and but they are crazy entertaining. It's really funny. Um, those two guys are absolutely hilarious, and they're also pretty spot on when it comes to their bourbons. And they also talk about cigars. Um, and I actually, you know what, Alec Bradley, I think is one of the sponsors of their channels. I might be wrong, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure Alec Bradley sponsors a lot of their content. Um, and they're also connected to Jeremy Sires, and they've had him on a few times, and that's always hilarious. I mean, like those guys are just they're ridiculously funny, but full of really good info at the same time, um, and just play off of each other, and they're hilarious. I love their stuff. Pour guesses is one of my favorite things that they do, and it's just guessing whiskey uh, through different. They've done it a few different ways, but it's pretty hilarious. So I highly recommend that one. Yeah. My next one is going to be Whiskey Row. It's a smaller channel. Like Bourbon Junkies is massive, but Whiskey Row is really good. They talk a lot about just lots of different types of whiskey, not just bourbon. Um, they go through a lot. It's pretty good. So I recommend that one. My kind of last whiskey one is going to be Whiskey Tribe. They're huge. They're probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest. I've never looked at like their numbers of viewers or subs, but they are huge. And I'd go to one of their events too if I ever had the opportunity. Um, their reviews are great. They have a lot of different people involved. It's so good. So recommend all those. Uh, why don't you talk about? Well, I'll
Yep.
do my last two, and then you do your last ones.
Okay.
So then we have Kirby Allison. Uh, he's a kind of more of a proper gentleman channel. Um, Even his, the things that he kind of sells are very just proper English. He sells like these wooden hangers that are they're amazing. They're really cool. But I like it when he goes and visits the cigar shop, across the pond there, and they talk about kind of the proper way there to smoke a cigar. You know, I think that's a really cool watch. Um, if you're interested in cigars, I think it's a really cool thing to see how different places, different countries do it. Because there's a lot of different cigar cultures here in the U.S. Many different, like we see so many different types of people whenever we go out. But to watch how like the proper English way to smoke a cigar and kind of the history of it is really cool. Um, and then my last one is going to be Box Press. Um, Again, that's an info channel, full of info, full of good stuff. Uh, it's it's they're self sponsored, I think, so they definitely have that going for them. But Rob is just another like genuine guy, just really likes cigars and talks a lot of good stuff about different types, different roles, different manufacturers, and he's just seemed to be a really good guy. So that's my list of the peeps I watch.
And I'll just go through uh, my last two. Like I said, I don't drink a lot too much nowadays, but when I do drink, it's usually like a cocktail. So my last two channels center around cocktails. So the first channel is called How to Drink. It features Greg from How to Drink, and he does a lot of unique videos of like teaching you how to make like classic cocktails, but then like he does like kind of like off the wall things, where he'll get like he'll order all the drinks at an Outback Steakhouse and put them in a thermos and bring them back to his studio to sample them in his studio and then recreate them but better, so they don't taste like, sugary alcohol. So he does a lot of cool things. He's done like blind whiskey tasting. He's done like show you how to make like old school prohibition cocktails, stuff like that. So how to drink is one of my favorite channels. And my last cocktail channel is Anders Ericsson. It's Anders Anders, and he also likes to make old school cocktails. And usually he'll make the cocktail in a traditional way, and then like a way that like a modified way,
Mhm.
like that has like a twist to it. Um, so yep, those are all my cigar and drink channels that I watch on the regular.
Yeah. Now we both watch a lot of things that are outside of cigar related.
Yep.
Um, and again, one of them that I think is probably one of the biggest channels on YouTube, Think Media.
Yeah.
Um, but they have a lot of people on there. Like how many folks are at Think Media? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure. There are some key people that I specifically watch. I actually just watched an interview with one of their key people on a podcast that I listen to, which is called the Family Mart podcast.
Mm.
And Family Mart is like it's kind of like us, like you know, I think they're all like family. So like they're three Filipino guys, like they're all like cousins or whatnot.
Yeah, I've
Um,
listened to a few episodes. It's pretty
yeah,
good.
and actually recently they interviewed what's his name from Think Media. Uh, I don't remember his name. Do you remember? Man,
No.
this is great content, man. I'm actually
No.
trying to find it. I'm trying to find it right now.
So when it comes to like everyone's like, oh, what was the name of the guy in that one movie? I have no idea. Like,
Mm.
I know Ryan Reynolds. I know who that is. But outside of that, nope.
Anyway, go ahead and talk about Think Video while I
All right, so Think
try to
Media,
find the.
they do a lot of things of like how tos, which is super smart because how to is the number one searched thing on YouTube. Like if we did a how to, we'd probably get several more subscribers or followers or views or whatever. Um, and they give a lot of advice. They do a lot of product review. They actually reviewed the camera that I'm using right now, the ZVE10, and they were spot on. The camera is amazing. I'm actually in my garage right now. We were talking about this little thing back here that's waving, but yeah, the lighting is good on it. The mic is good on it. The camera is great on it. Um, I can't ask for a better camera.
Yeah,
And with this camera, which they reviewed and talked about how the removable lens and you can interchange lens and things, it really sold me on it, and I use their link. So support of Think Media.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, and
but
and
yeah,
we went to Think Media a lot to like
mhm,
just see how we were gonna set up this podcast. Like for example, using podcasts or the mics that
yep,
we're using, or kind of like trying to decide on a subject and whatever. They have a lot of good information for new content creators that will, kind of like focus you in a specific direction. That way you're not like kind of stumbling over yourself week to week.
yeah,
And the person that I was talking about that was featured on the Family Mart podcast is Omar El Takori. He's one of their,
He's the guy with
he's
the beard, right? Like he's
yeah, the
kind of got
beard
a
and
scruffy look.
yeah, the beard and the glasses, and he he's one of the major players over on Think Media for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. He actually did the product review for my camera.
Hmm.
Um, my 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 go-to watch and my inspiration for the stuff that I kind of do that sadly I never post, and it's because I'm not good enough at it yet. But the guy that I really like watching is Peter McKinnon. Have you seen any of his stuff?
No.
Oh my gosh! So after this, you need to go and look it up. Peter McKinnon, his stuff is amazing. His cinematography is the best. B-roll is amazing. He's he does like some how to things, kind of like Think Media does, but just the way he does it is really cool. And then he's got like an alternative channel called Pirate Pete, and some adventures there. And I mean, like his stuff, like he's good. He's really good. Um, his cameras are very expensive. His equipment that he has is amazing, but he'll review simple products too. Talks a lot about lighting and like how to set it up, and he's changed locations a couple times. And like watching him like set up his new locations and talk about that setup is really cool to watch. You got to watch him, John. Like you would actually really like it. But that's my where I go to for cinematography and video editing inspiration. He's good. Um, Another one that I watch, which is more about community leadership and has a really good backstory, is called Raising Alphas. Um, they have their their whole thing is kind of like um, what's the right thing to do, and teaching our kids from a young age, um, you know how to be productive kind of in society.
Hmm.
And one of the guys actually said the other day on the podcast, I want to kind of teach my kids the lessons that I learned now that I'm 40, the things that took
Hmm.
me my entire life to figure out to be a good person. And I don't think they would mind if I share, but one of the reasons that they kind of started it is because he was a fire chief and he was actually let go, because he wasn't going to force anyone to get the vaccine. Now, everyone can have different opinions on this and say yes, we should be forced or not be forced, or everyone should just get it, or whatever. But I genuinely felt bad that a first responder was let go over something like that. Um, you know, and that's one of the reasons he started to create this channel. And he actually is the two guys that do it are the two most genuine guys I've ever met. They're super amazing. Um, so not only do I love their channel, but I like them as people. I like hanging out with them. I've seen them at several get-togethers that I've been at, and they're good. They're good folks. Um, Another one for me on a lighter note is Asmongold. That I've watched him forever. Um, like he's gone from you know the Fortnite gaming to reviewing to talking about his life. He did one just recently on making a steak, and it was like a $7 or $9 pack of steak or something like that. And a bunch of people hit it up afterwards, and it was pretty funny. But he is absolutely hilarious. But then at the same time, he had went through some things family wise with like his mom, and she had passed and she was sick. And it's like there's so many people out there that can kind of like identify with that. And I thought that was really cool of him to go from being this gamer, um, kind of character, to being able to be serious about what he went through with his mom and how he felt. And it was like you could tell it was real emotion, like it was raw. So he's another one of my favorites. My last one, Ben TK, another one. Have you seen Ben TK?
Mm.
Oh my gosh, you're missing out. Another one with amazing cinematography. He did a thing on the Philippines. That's what originally brought it to my attention because I was looking up, traveling there because we're planning a trip, and when I saw it, I was like, man, this guy's like really good. And then he had a couple behind the scene things of like one that he did in Dubai, and his video editing, his cinematography, his storytelling is just it's just off the hook. It's so good. It's really good. So
Cool, cool, cool. So let me go through a couple of mine. Um, so, like clockwork, every single morning, I wake up and I watch a new episode of Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link, and they do a show every single day, Monday through Friday.
wow.
Um, just random things. They're and they've been in the YouTube game for I don't know, like years. You know, they've taken their channel from two best friends sitting in their old dorm room doing like content to you know like just building an empire of like they made a whole company named Mythical and several YouTube channels, and they've been on TV. They've made TV shows like been on Jimmy Fallon and all this other stuff, and they're just two best friends that do random stuff like eat weird things from different countries, or um, you know they play like guess where this dish is from and throw a dart at a map, and just random stuff like that. But it's very entertaining to me. I've been a dedicated fan of theirs for many, many years now. Um, as far as tech goes, I have two people that I usually go to for tech reviews. So the first one is Marquise Brownlee. He's very well known in the tech game. He reviews all the new tech that's coming out from like Apple to Android to whatever, to um, electric cars or whatever. So I trust his opinion with a lot of like new tech that's coming out, or like there's a laptop that I'm interested in.
Mhm.
I'm going to go to his channel and trust his reviews. Now, on the flip side of things, um, if it's camera related, um, or just like other like useful tech, there is
Mhm.
a channel called Authentic, AUTHEN .tech, and it's Ben Schmanke's channel, and he's been doing GoPro and DJI and Osmos reviews. He'll take he'll take all the cameras and put them all on one like gimbal type thing, and he'll
Yeah, I've seen
record
his channel. It's
himself.
good.
Yeah, record himself walking, and he'll show you the video from one to the next, and that way you can compare in real time, like, okay, this one sounds better than this, or the picture looks better on this one. So I really like Authentic a lot. I watch a lot of his videos. Actually just watched a couple of his videos for my mom because she wanted to get a GoPro or whatever. And the
So
last
sorry, I just
good.
want to comment on that one. His video is actually what made me decide whether or not I want to upgrade my GoPros as I've
Mm-hmm.
had them. I'll watch his videos to know whether or not it's worth it to go from a 9 to a 10, 10 to 11 or whatever. Um, so yes, his videos are awesome.
Yeah, he's the one that I like. I keep on going back to his videos with the Insta 360 go to,
Yeah.
and like he's the one that makes me want to buy it, but I still haven't pulled the trigger yet. So, and the last channel is actually relatively a new channel to me. It's called Exploration, and it's this couple that lives in St. Petersburg, Florida, and they go all around Florida. Um, You know, like you know, I think they used to live in Sarasota, and then they moved to St. Pete, and basically just go around Florida and kind of tell you like, hey, we're in Madeira Beach. This is a
Mm-hmm.
good place to have breakfast. This is a cool trail to walk through. Here are some inexpensive things to do. Here's like the new things that are popping up. So it's very much like a Tampa Bay type channel, and kind of showing you like the new things and what to do here and there. So I've been watching them for a couple of months now, so I really like their content.
I feel like I've seen that. Does one of them have like the wife? She's got like light brown or a darker blonde hair.
Yeah, kind of skinny.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
usually like walk around everywhere,
Yeah.
especially like because they live in like downtown St. Pete.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think I watched them do like some kind of trolley thing in Clearwater.
yeah. The like they went from like I don't know like Clearwater Beach all the way down to
Yeah.
like Madeira or St. Pete or whatever.
Yeah, they did another one with like Anna Marie Island. That one I
Hmm.
saw because I was looking at Anna Marie Island because I wanted to go fishing again. And back when I lived down in Manatee, that was one of my kind of little places to go. So yeah, their videos are good. I like
Yeah,
those ones. Yeah.
yeah. We've
Um.
we visited a couple of the restaurants, and they like bars and breweries and stuff. So whenever they went to a new one, I started writing them down. Be like, hey, it might be a good place to check out. So,
Yeah. Saturday we're gonna go to a brewery up here, Three Odd Guy Brewing,
hmm
and our friend is gonna play there. Her band is called the Badfinger Band, and she's actually also Filipino, but they're really good. Like I don't know, so you guys have like a gene where if you're Filipino, you automatically just are able to play many instruments and sing well. It's really annoying. Like
that
karaoke
must
at her house sucks.
that must have skipped me then, because I can't play an instrument and I don't sing
You
very
can
good.
sing. Don't even try to like. Yeah, we've done karaoke on a cruise ship.
Yeah, on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Maybe we just sounded entertaining because we had some alcohol.
No, it was really good.
No,
Yeah, panties were dropping everywhere.
right? We're singing that "Boys to Men."
Oh, that's right, we were. It was pretty good. Well, we did have Carrie with us, so that helped.
Yeah,
He's got that down.
definitely.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend? Anything after the storm?
Uh, Not really. I've volunteered for some reason to work a couple hours tomorrow on my day
Ugh.
off.
Yeah.
So I'll be working, I think, from 1 to 5, just to pick up some extra hours and help out the team. And I think this is one of the few rare weekends that we don't have a birthday party or something to go to or whatever. So,
Yeah. I'm still trying to plan mine. I don't know. Like I'm thinking about going to that Mathers place that I sent that picture of,
oh yeah,
the slightly inappropriate picture. So like I sent that, and then I was telling like I told Pressure, I'm like, yeah, I just sent the picture to our little friend group, and there's four of us in this like Facebook chat, right?
hmm
And I sent it, and she's like, you better hope their wives don't see it. So then I like deleted it quickly, and then you're like, well, since when have you ever been appropriate? So then I was like, whatever, I'll post it. So I did.
yep.
It was fun. It was a great time. So it's a Mathers is a speakeasy, and they have a burlesque show. That's really good. It was a lot of fun. The drinks are great. They're old school. Like their old fashioned is one of the best. It's so good, and they have some small plates too. But in order to reserve part of it, it's hard to get like dates. It's constantly packed there. I mean, they only let a certain number of people in, but it's hard. It's really hard to get a date. So I'm working on it. And if that
Mm.
doesn't work out, I don't really know where else to do it at. But
I
this is
mean, you can always go tried and true Cigars International. You just have
yeah,
to
but
drive
then
down here.
like some of our friends don't smoke, you know, so it'd basically be me and you. Which I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing,
I guess you're right. I guess we
but
should. I mean, it has a bar and it has an outside
yeah,
area, and your birthday is in December, so it's going to be cool
it'll be
outside.
nice out. Yeah, I
So
don't
I
know. I
mean,
got to figure it
it
out.
doesn't have to be here in Tampa. I'm sure there's an outside like bar slash cigar place up by you.
Yeah,
Doesn't Corona have an outside seating section?
yeah. Which is, by the way, 1 block from Mathers.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So I did. I was thinking about that. Like I was thinking, okay, so we could start at Corona, and then start there at around like 6, and then go to Mathers after that, and because that kind of gets started around like 8, 9 o'clock, and the fun stuff really starts happening 10, and then it happens every hour.
Mm.
So and they have like flatbreads and uh, charcuterie boards, stuff like that. But
Is this your big 4-0?
so this is 39, and that's
Oh,
why I want to do something kind of cool because
because
exiting
it's
out of the 30.
39.
Yeah, I'm not going to be 30 anymore. Like, I
No,
mean,
you're still 30.
I'm going to be
You're
39. Like, look,
right.
gray hair is
You're
happening,
still
man.
39. Like
Like,
you're not
maybe
40.
look at the
So
receding hairlines.
you're still in your 30s for another year.
No, it's 39. Like, this is the last birthday I will have as my 30s. I'm not looking like, yeah. So I actually was, like, there's like all these like leadership things that I do and watch, and like I attend like webinars on leadership, and then I also do talks for leadership, and in this like kind of group discussion, everyone was saying like what motivates you, and like there's Matthew McConaughey actually says some really smart things, and there's a speech, and everyone should go and look this up, by the way. It's really good. And he says there's 3 things that he needs in life, and I hope I don't get this wrong, but it's someone to look up to, someone to look forward to, and someone to chase. So to look up to is God. You got to have God in your life. uh, you know um, that's opinion, obviously. Someone to look forward to, and that's our, like, for him, and it's for me, it's the family, and that's wife and kid. That's John is also extended family. Not only is he a friend, but he's my wife's cousin. um it's Carrie. It's our family, right? And I work hard a lot. Like anyone that knows me actually knows I work a lot, and that's who I want to be proud of me. And then it's who am I chasing? And that's the part that hit me is I'm chasing me in 10 years. So, and I've actually always felt that way. Like I'm always chasing myself. I know where I want to be in 10 years. I know the plan to get there. But the problem is I'll never get there. I'll never be satisfied because it's always going to be in 10 years, it's 10 more years. In 2024, it's going to be where do I want to be at in 2034? And I said this on this webinar, and it was actually really cool to see how many people started like thinking that way, because some of them were like young entrepreneurs,
Mm.
um, people that are just getting into like healthcare industry, and it was really cool for them to like start talking about where they're going to be at in 10 years. So that's my serious moment.
I have no serious moment. I don't know what I'm chasing. I know who I look up to, and I
He was
know
pointing at me,
who.
by the way.
Yeah,
Everybody watching that.
and I know who I'm hanging out for the long haul with. But as far as who I'm chasing, not sure yet. I'll let you know when I figure it out.
I'm always chasing something new. All the time.
All the time. Well, everybody, that's our show for this week. We want to thank you very much again for tuning in
Thank
and
you all.
listening to two friends talk about random stuff. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and we will see you next time.
Peace out. Deuces.
Looking for the ultimate resource to find the best cigar bars in your area? Want to hang out with the folks who have the same passion for cigars as you? Do you want to find a cigar lounge with like-minded individuals to relax, network, and get together with friends? This is what the Cigars Advisors are here for. A state-of-the-art platform that allows all cigar lovers to locate cigar lounges and bars. This is a place where everyone can come together, share their thoughts, and review their favorite cigar spots without any restrictions. Find your new favorite cigar lounge now by visiting thecigaradvisor.com.